Looking to buy? Need to do any trade? I have some items for sale, or I can buy if you're looking to fence some items. Common knowledge that the travelers are known as thieves, but it isn't the only life you have to lead. We've traders, bards, and jugglers as well. Always a few odds and ends happening there. Hard to feel like you aren't being watched with the city looming over us. That's why you have to control the show. We're performers at heart in Moon Camp. Bards, jugglers, tumblers, dancers, all performing for the glory of the Hierophant. One of the few ways to earn coin with this war on. Bit hard for us to ply other trades with the soldiers at Dolve Arn breathing down our necks. Irian's a good enough bard and a clever thief, but he's not quite a leader, especially with Mare gone. Mare? She's one of the most talented thieves we've got. I can't say we don't miss her skill. Come again.
A thief may turn a lock, a brigand steal a key, but a bard can steal your heart for but a little fee. Irian is a man who weeps the sadness that a lifetime reaps. His wife, his love, his other half, is gone and took his laugh. This camp is home to bards and singers all, tumblers and jugglers and curtain calls. A sullied order the untouched cast, but rest assured we shall outlast. Live on your feet as we are told, while using hand to steal the gold. The unknown provider, the stalwart seer, the anonymous guider, the brigand's dear, a diviner of our quarry, and assuager of our worries. Farewell. I can teach you the secrets of trade. The Varani guard their methods well, but mine can be bought with coin. Irian's wife left him, so it seems. Wouldn't be that bad, save the fact that she's also a leader of the camp. Irian's so busy pining after her that we've got nothing to do. Don't suppose we can get her back, can we? Seems that Mare left Irian. Odd enough. When they first came to Moon Camp, they were like lovers from some ballad. The art of the haggle is just another form of performance, and that is where we excel here at Moon Camp. The stage is never silent in Moon Camp, and Rathir watches us from a distance. Ever the audience, you could say. Well now. There are many in the Travelers with clever hands, but in Moon Camp we value a silver tongue above all. The coast was torn apart by the war. It's now a wasteland for scavengers, refugees, and soldiers. Farewell.
They call me Min the Grinner because I rarely lose. Care to test your chances against me? The man's supposed to be leading this camp, but all he can do is weep. He's taken the loss of Mare hard enough. Oh, aye, Mare's is a real song of storybook romance, but looks like things soured between her and Irian. I was a waif once, a cutpurse from the streets of Rathir before the travelers spoke with me. They've become the family I never knew. The coast's been torn ragged by war and fire. It's the least Mooncamp can do to bring some color and motley to the area. Hope you like your chances.
You have come once again to my table. Shall we see what fate will draw for you? Irian is the leader of this camp. He is a true master of the stage, but a cunning thief as well, in his own way. Mare was the leader of this camp along with our king, Irian. But fate ripped their paths apart, and now they are separate. We've traveled far and wide to make camp in the shadow of Rathir. From here, we do much trade. We travelers spend our lives out of doors, on roads and camps and fields, ever moving, ever roving. The leader of the travelers, the shepherd to our flock, the Hierophant is anonymous and leads from behind a veil.
Selling any clothes? Someone off the road. Tell me, do you have any peasant clothes that you're looking to get rid of? I can pay you for them. Irian is one of Mooncamp's leaders, but the other, Mare, has left us. And it gets worse. Mare was also Irian's wife. I mean, how would you feel? It's a wonder a man like Irian could weather it. Mare might have been co-leader of the camp, but she's no performer. She's a thief, through and through. It might have worn on her to be surrounded with folk like us. Guess it just wasn't a good fit. Their words are often in the ears of common folk, and their songs play in the hearts of all. I used to find good work in Rathir, but the travellers here have a real passion for the art of performance. I'm happier here. Indeed. It is not clothes so much as cloth. I'm a tailor by trade, and from my hands are born the costumes and curtains of our fair camp. But the players of our camp are always in need of new articles of dress. I need lots of material, and quickly. Bring me some peasant clothes and I can rework the material with relative ease. What say you? You mean truly? It's been a while since I've had any good material to work with. I await your findings. If I knew, I wouldn't need you around to find them for me, would I? I think if you poke around, you'll dig some up. Pleasant journeys. What is this specimen before me? I can only think that you were the skilled one the Hierophant said I was to expect. If only you had come sooner, then you might have helped to keep my mare's heart here. May the Hierophant's gaze find my wife, for what a wretch I have become. I am more like a king of ants than anything else. There is nothing I can say to describe how I pine for her. Would that I be sundered like the Rathir battlefield, that I could escape this anguish. It takes a brave sort to be a traveler. We've all left something behind, or made the sacrifices we had to, or had nowhere else to turn. But more than that, a traveler needs presence. We need to command attention, to perform under spotlight, even from the shadows. The Hierophant directs all of the travelers, a director of our cues and exits, of our motivations and actions. It is well known that the Hierophant commands us because of a vision of the work from start to end, a prophecy to tell us what to steal. Oh, nothing I should be bothering you with. After all you've accomplished in Star Camp, what's so special about a broken-hearted Alpha? I should tell you more about what mission you're to be. Oh, you must give me a moment. Mare, my poor, lovely mare. My Queen of Cups, the once joint leader of Moon Camp, my wife. Happy we were in the years we were wed, yet sad we were in the hours. She was of a noble family, and I their jester. We fell in love, eloped, and joined the only ones who did not shun our love, the travelers. But of late, the stress of this life has finally taken its toll. She left me, and this camp, to seek refuge in the Temple of Lyria. I'm in no state to be aiding you right now. I should be alone. I still need some time. Very well. Go to the Hierophant Shrine and pray. There you will receive portents of the next mission from our Grand Leader. You must pray at the Hierophant Shrine. There you will divine the targets of your thefts. Exeunt.
Is there a petition before me? Ah, yes, but it is strange. You seem cloaked in shadow, hidden from my gaze. Ah, it is you, Shade. We are far from the woods of Dalentarth. I see you are eager to serve your guide. Yes, and come far from Star Camp. Moon Camp is a home to true travelers, faithful and talented. I have seen the items which you must steal. The Chalice of Forced Vintage from the lower city, and the Signet Ring of Wyvern Gift from the upper city. And lastly, you must steal the Cowl of the Maiden from the Temple of Lyria. These treasures are my blessing to this camp. The Chalice of Forced Vintage is said to take any liquid poured into it and transform it into fine wine. It is currently in possession of a peddler named Weinrich in Rathir's Seafoam Tavern. Relieve it of him. It is the signet ring of the Wyvern Gifts, one of the great houses of Rathir. The Patriarch Ebsel is a social man. You will have to take the ring from him away from prying eyes. The Cowl of the Maiden is a ceremonial cowl belonging to the Temple of Lyria. It is only worn on solemn occasions of the lunar eclipse. I fear that you are not its only predator. Mayor Ganon seeks the cowl as well. You are not the only thief that is pursuing the Cowl of the Maiden. There is also Mayor Ganon, formerly of Moon Camp. The calamities of Irian's and Mayor's relationships are not unknown to me. Resolve them and you may have an easier time.
look like you've been in some tight spots. There's a bounty out on a damn set of deserters. What do you say? A fact of life. There are cowards and lying rogues, and that's that. But when they up and run with things of value, that's another thing altogether. Haven't you been? You can feel something in you begin to rot the moment you set foot over there. At least I did. I did 5 years in Cluricon. Then I got this post back here, seeing fresh recruits trained and off to war. Look at it, scarred and singed as a blacksmith's hand. That is what you get from war. In through Verki's water gates? I'd have thought those gates sealed in the wreckage when Verki fell. Well, well, well. 5 full crew of fresh recruits had the gall to get fully equipped on our gold coin before they up and ran. The turntails, arms, and armor we can do without. But I'm afraid we also gave each crew a bottle of bog staunch. That's what I need recovered. Cure for a sickness that strikes some the moment they enter Cluricon. Devilish hard to make. We can't have fool deserters running off with any. So you do, so you do. Find me all 5 bottles, and you've got your bounty. Those fools have run off down the coast, I imagine, hiding here and there. They'll be up and down the Tawili coast, I think, hiding where they damn well can. There are things in the air in Cluricon. It doesn't strike everyone, but some get awfully sick their first days there. Bog staunch gets them through it, so we pack a jug with every crew we send over there.
What's needed?
Fancy you. The traveler's life. Nothing finer. Not in Rathir, not anywhere, my friend. Why, the way is right there, where the red gold flags are flying. You'll find fine musicians, mesmerizing dancers. Fine lads and lasses all. None of the mischief you might have heard tell of. Not here. Free of foot and light of heart we are. They might barter, trade, and whisper secrets up in Rathir town. But it's to Moon Camp they come for dance and laughter and song. A fine city for what it is. A bit dull and proper, mind you, and the city watch don't take kindly to fun of any kind.
Did you think the whole army was across the water in Cluricon? No, I'm afraid some of us are stuck here in Dol they Arn and Rathir. No one's quite sure why Sully rebelled against us. A lot of the soldiers are feeling fatigued, though, after fighting for so long. That's why most join with free men.
The Freemen are a rogue group of our own soldiers who have grown disenfranchised by the war and decided it's easier to cause trouble at home than to keep the Tuatha at bay. Used to belong to House Arn, but that soft sot that inherited wanted nothing to do with it. His loss, the army's gain. While it's true we Alpha lead, many humans proudly fill our ranks. All mortals unite against the damned Tuatha Fae. They're not mortal for one, nor sane either. I've seen them firsthand. I know they're as cooped up there as we are here, but someday that siege will lift. I want to be there when it does.
I should have been there yesterday. And now you're saying 2 more days.
Now, sir, I'm sure it will all be sorted out with time.
All right, all right. Just how must this be done?
No goods of trade, debts owed, livestock or chattel? Why, then you're free to go.
So many of our young men and women lost to this war.
Lyria, light your way.
Strong winds lately.
What am I going to do? I've got to be going, but I can't. And I can't go back to Doveyarn, but I must. I am the rightful heir to Doveyarn, or I was at any rate. I've spent the last few years in lovely old Rathir, pretending like a fool nothing would change. It was my home. That was before I deeded it to the Alfar army and went to Rathir with my pocket full of gold. It went 10 years untouched by the Tuatha foe. That's common knowledge. 10 years stuck in a cold stone prison was how I saw it. Honestly, I feel like a hare hunted by hawks out here. Nothing like it anywhere in Amalur, I promise you. Beauty, elegance, wisdom. There's no putting it to words, really. The war, my friend. The war. I've been called. The truth is, I should have been gone days ago. Only I'd be far more eager for the adventure if I had my family arms with me. They're in there, Doveyarn. Ancestral staff and talisman. What any self-respecting Arn's worn to battle since time immemorial. If I hadn't left them somewhere in that damned tower, I'd be wearing them now. I'm not supposed to be here. I ought to have shipped out days ago. That's what I've been trying to say. I need, well, want to get my family arms and slip off before anyone knows I was here. Only how? You're serious, aren't you? Well, with any luck, the old staff and talisman are still in one piece back there, though I have my doubts. I'd pay just to know if they are or not. Thing is, Doveyarn's an official army post now. To get in, you'll need an officer's pass. Well, you need to get into Doveyarn. For that, you'll need an officer's pass. You might borrow one, or get hold of a forgery. Mooncamp might be good for that. By tradition, an Arn bears staff and talisman to battle. My brother bore them in Oriator's stand and died of his wounds 3 days after. Only I left them in Doveyarn when I gave it to the army. Goodness only knows where they are, or what shape they're in now. Arn family history's riddled with this cursed war. My father and brothers have done so much for the cause, I shouldn't have to lift a finger. Hurry if you can. They might find me any moment.
For 500 summers, autumns, winters, and springs, the blossoms on my pearl tree bloomed ceaselessly and wantonly and fair. Why today have they fallen like tears? A dark doubt whispers, these flowers will not come again.
This here's Doveyarn. You an officer? Got an officer's pass? No pass, no entry. It's a privilege to wear the steel helm. All who do should be proud. I gave my captain back chalk once, just once. And what do I get? 3 months guard duty, day and night. This here's our base, barracks and storehouse west of the Forian Strait. It played a bigger role back when the war raged where you and I stand now. But that was near on 10 years back. That's right, officers only. If you've got a pass, show it here. An hard night drinking in Rathir, was that it? Woke up with less in your pockets than you used to have? If I had a gold piece every time. We see that, especially from your sort, just back from the front. Well, have this pass we keep of visiting dignitaries, and try not to drink so much. That's right, you're allowed.
All the junk the Arns once had's been thrown in the back. No one's bothered to touch it.
Nah, the officers' club in Rathir, that's where you want to be, not this dusty hole.
All the junk the arms once had has been thrown in the back. No one's bothered to touch it.
Now the officers' club in Rathia, that's where you want to be. Not this dusty hole.
Warsworn, what brings you here?
Now the Officers' Club in Rathir, that's where you want to be, not this dusty hole.
Damn this siege!
So, you got in old Doveyan then? I hope it wasn't much trouble. Were you able to recover my arms? The staff wasn't rotted through, was it? That's it! No mistaking this old piece of wood. I feel braver just holding it in my hands. And the talisman? Did you find it in its place? Ah, wonderful. I couldn't say how many blades and arrows this saved my family from. I'll feel safer with it on my arm, all the same. Here, have this for your troubles. Life in a fortress sounds grand, but I'd take Rathir, with its fetes and food and fair-eyed ladies, any day. The name of Arn kept me safe until now, but a war is a hungry beast, and I suppose it was in my cards to be called sooner or later. And Lyria guard us both.
Stay dry.
Now, if you'll attend here, these are the papers.
I should have been there yesterday. And now you're saying 2 more days.
Every morning, fresh soldiers board warships on the burn. Every night, the dead and wounded are carried from the ships.
Good day to you.
Move along,
Who can I
citizen.
send? I have all these notices and no courier. Fine. You look capable. Stern in the brow, proud of bearing. You are just what we need to deliver these notices. You'll do it, won't you? You've got to do better than the last fellow. There's pay. It's for the war effort. Went and broke his little leg. Oh, Lunala's tears. Hasn't a notion of how important our work is. No sense of the bigger picture. I'm the chief of recruitment, and don't think I've got time to go around handing out notices. Those notices are only the beginning. We're in Rathir. This is the war effort. How do you think we get a steady flow of soldiers into Cluricon? You've got to be organized, and everyone's got to pitch in. Notices of duty to denizens of Rathir selected to serve. The work can be hard, and you've got to, well, look the part. I'll give you a list of names, and you get each of them to accept their card. Easy as that. Well, what do you say? Will you do it? What I need are boots on the ground in Cluricon. I shouldn't say this, but if anyone can't or won't accept the notice, find someone else. Or make them. Whatever you need to do. Take these cards, deliver them to Runir Westnon, Maywin Wyvern Gif, Aefendel, and Varen Seawine. Almain? Odd. All can be found in Rathir, and I can be found in the officers' hall on the burn when you're finished. The names are Runir Westnon, Maywin Wyvern Gif, Aefendel, and Varen Seawine. They're all in Rathir. You can't fight a war without soldiers. True, we contract the Warsworn and volunteers arrive daily, but it's not always enough. Citizens of Rathir are selected on... Well, the process is secret. Even I don't know how. They're selected, a notice is sent, and they serve. Now, be on your way.
Are you from here? I mean, you seem well-traveled. I'm not from here. I'm just visiting my brother. He's in the Scholia Arcana. The northern piers are called the Keys, where merchant ships dock for trade. It's safer there, sheltered by Bracken Bay, and farther from Cluricon. Only warships dock at the burn, and it's all soldiers there. What with the officers' hall, though the healer's there too. Surely you've heard of it, full of stuffy old mages and strange books, and the rooms Varen wouldn't let me go in. Just think what might be there. I don't even know where to start. There's so much to tell. The Praderie, of course, where all the shops and stores are. And the Keys and the Burn and the Upper City, where my brother's school is, and also the temple and those marvelous gardens. Oh, Varen's a silly old oaf. He's always at the sea foam, and I've never once seen him study since he came here. I've seen one of the waitresses giving him the eye, too, though he pretends he doesn't see when I'm around. Some merchants sell pails of fish or bolts of cloth, but Leargriff has all kinds of pretty things, and Gwalchmey has anything and everything. I spent 3 whole days in the bookstore, and then I smelled every herb and powder at Rowani's. Pride of Praderi's got boring old weapons and armor. That's where the poor in the city live. A bit of it's overground, but the rest's in the lower tunnels. It's true, they live in caves. The tavern by the Keys. You'll find as many Varani sailors there as full Rathiri, and my lazy bones of a brother, too. Oh, if you haven't been, you must go. The Scholia Arcana's there, of course, and the great houses. But the best part's the Lunar Gardens. It's always nighttime in the gardens, and so peaceful. You pass through there to the temple, which is also enchanting. The priestess is a fate weaver. So long.
That's 5 gold over market. Over common sense.
Do you want to ruin me? See my children starve?
Greetings, brother.
They say old Abagast, who lives by the Keys, is rich as a gift and never goes out of his house.
Fresh fish from the morning catch, spices from across the raging sea.
Greetings, brother.
Students of magic, masters of spells.
Just look at it all.
Consider the maid staff. Would you prefer ordinary or illustrious? To be honest, I never actually passed the initiation trials. An oversight, I assure you. Arrogant fools. Lyria's city. Magic runs through its veins, echoes in its courts and byways, and I do my modest part. A pleasure, I assure you. I've been supplying scholars and students alike for many a year. Those rare and potent marvels unavailable within their compound, I am happy to supply. Magic's mistress and goddess of fate, which is not but magic's deepest weave, after all. Lyria's light guide you.
Oh, there's no use. I've lost the keys. Now Gwalchmey'll have my head if I can't think up something fast. Say, you're not good with locks, are you? Would you help a poor fellow who's down on his luck? Me, Gwalchmey calls me lad whenever he wants me, and the others call me hardly anything at all. Just fetch this and lift that. Well, he's a good enough master, all in all. Sees to it I earn every coin of my wages, though. No standing about, not in his shop. With all these people walking around, you'd figure someone would help me after I lost my keys. Yes, as in, no need for keys. Ace with a lockpick. Gwalchmey wants an old red ledger from the storeroom in the customs house.
Oh, I'm afraid they're lost for good. Now, I might have dropped them here, or at Kest's table the other night. But it's just as likely I dropped them in Bracken Bay after I'd had an ale or three at the Seafoam. The chest it's in, that is, yes. Although I don't know which one it is. But it's down there, somewhere. Oh, now don't worry, nothing in the storeroom's seen the light of day in years. No one will mind if you pick a few locks before you find it. The Chamber of Trade's on the way to the quays, and the storeroom's off one of the wings. Just pick any lock down there till you find the old ledger. Gets these ideas into his head. Needs this old thing, needs that new thing. This time it's shard prices by the decade. Something to do with a deal he is or isn't striking with that Carasta trader. Oh, the things they say about that Lanshi. That she talked a Jotun out of his own hammer once. And another time sold some Varani fool his own silk for twice as much, after cutting it to ribbons and winding it on spools. Chamber of Trade basement. Just head toward the quays. Oh, and have these. That should help.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
Please, find Selny. Tell her we betrayed. The lower tunnels. Go. Tell Selny. No one else. Betrayed.
Aye, it was the third day then, and the ale had run dry.
Feels good to have me feet on land.
Feels good to have my feet on land.
You look like you've traveled far, but not farther than my wares. It's my brothers that ply the seas and bring me goods to trade. When I tire of Rathir, I'll wait till they return and back upon the foam. Not a bad sight from the bow of your ship, although I've never become accustomed to the strange ways of these southern Alfar. Darkalfar, whatever you like to call them, like and unlike to their sisters in the north. Losalfar, that is. The goods here you'll not find the likes of anywhere else. Not without braving the raging seas, at least. wind at your back,